Cashflow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, a WealthWorks summary. The Big Idea. Robert Kiyosaki's first book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, changed how millions of people think about money. Cashflow Quadrant goes deeper. It explains why some people build wealth easily, while others, equally intelligent, equally hardworking, remain financially stuck for life. The answer has nothing to do with how smart you are or how hard you work. It has everything to do with which quadrant of the financial world you operate in. There are 4 quadrants. Most people spend their lives in the 2 that make other people wealthy. The goal of this book is to move you to the other side. About the author. Robert Kiyosaki is the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the best-selling personal finance book of all time. He grew up in Hawaii with 2 very different father figures. His own father, a highly educated government employee who struggled financially, and his best friend's father, a high school dropout who became one of Hawaii's wealthiest men. The contrast between those 2 men became the foundation of everything Kiyosaki has taught about money. Chapter 1. The 4 Quadrants. Part 1. The quadrant framework is the foundation of the entire book. Every person who earns money does so from at least one of 4 positions. E stands for employee, S stands for self-employed or small business owner, B stands for business owner, I stands for investor. The key insight is not just what these categories are, it is how differently money behaves in each one. How the quadrants differ. Employees exchange time for a fixed income. They value security, benefits, and stability. Self-employed people own their job. They are free from a boss but trapped by their own business, which stops producing the moment they stop working. Business owners own a system that works without them. Investors own assets that produce income regardless of their personal effort. The left side of the quadrant, E and S, trades time for money. The right side, B and I, owns money-producing systems. The left side is comfortable. The right side is where wealth is built. The action for Chapter 1, identify which quadrant or quadrants you currently earn from. Most people are primarily in E or S. There is nothing shameful about that, but be clear-eyed about which side of the quadrant your income currently comes from. Chapter 2, Why Employees and Self-Employed Stay Stuck. Part 1. Kiyosaki is not anti-employment. He is honest about why the E and S quadrants rarely lead to financial independence. Employees face a structural problem. They are taxed before they spend. Every dollar they earn passes through the government first. Business owners and investors, by contrast, earn, spend on business expenses, and then pay tax on what remains. The tax code is built to reward ownership, not labor. The self-employed trap. The self-employed quadrant carries a specific trap that catches many talented, ambitious people. They leave employment to gain freedom, but what they actually build is a more demanding job, one where they are the boss, the employee, and the operations department simultaneously. The business cannot function without them. It does not scale. It does not sell easily. And when they try to take a holiday, the income stops. Kiyosaki calls this being self-employed in a prison of your own making. The action for Chapter 2. If you are self-employed, ask honestly whether your business would survive and generate income for 30 days without you. If not, you are in the S quadrant, not the B quadrant, regardless of how you describe yourself. Chapter 3. The Business Owner Mindset, Part 1. The business owner quadrant is defined by a single characteristic. The business works without the owner. Kiyosaki's Rich Dad described this simply. A true business owner can go on holiday for a year and return to find the business more profitable than when they left. The business is a system of people, processes, and products that operates independently. The owner's job is to build and improve the system, not to work inside it. Building the system, the mindset shift required to move from S to B is significant. Self-employed people value doing things their way because they believe they do it best. Business owners value building teams and systems that can do things well without them. This means hiring people who are sometimes better than you at specific functions, creating processes that do not depend on your personal judgment, and accepting imperfection in exchange for scalability. Many people are too attached to doing it perfectly to ever build something that works without them. The action for Chapter 3: identify one task in your work that only you currently do, and ask whether it could be systematized or delegated. Start building the habit of thinking in systems rather than in tasks. Chapter 4: the Investor Quadrant, Part 1. The I quadrant is where true financial independence lives. Investors do not trade time for money. Their money trades time for more money. When you have enough assets in the I quadrant, producing enough income to cover your expenses, you are financially free. Your continued employment becomes optional. This is the destination Kiyosaki is pointing toward throughout the entire book. Learning to invest. Kiyosaki is honest that the I quadrant requires financial education that most people never receive. He distinguishes between sophisticated investors who understand specific assets, manage risk deliberately, and build diversified income streams, and naive investors who put money in a retirement account and hope for the best. He is not dismissive of index funds, but he believes the financially educated investor has more tools and more options. Real estate, businesses, and paper assets each play a role in a sophisticated investor's portfolio. The action for Chapter 4: identify one asset class you do not currently understand and commit to learning about it this month. Financial education is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong practice that directly determines the size of your I quadrant. Chapter 5: moving to the right side, Part 1. Kiyosaki is realistic about how long the transition from the left side to the right side of the quadrant takes. It is not a weekend decision. It requires financial education, a willingness to take calculated risks, and often years of building before meaningful results appear. Most people who successfully make the transition keep their E or S quadrant income while building their B and I quadrant assets simultaneously. The emotional dimension. He devotes significant attention to the emotional barriers to making this transition. Fear of failure, fear of what others will think, the comfort of a stable paycheck, the desire for security. These are not character flaws. They are understandable human responses. But they are also the precise reasons why most people spend their entire lives on the left side of the quadrant. The move to the right side begins not with money, but with the decision that freedom matters more than comfort. The action for Chapter 5: identify the one emotional barrier that most prevents you from building income on the right side of the quadrant. Name it specifically. Then ask what one small action you could take this month that directly confronts it. Key takeaways. 1. There are 4 quadrants: employee, self-employed, business owner, and investor. The left side trades time for money. The right side owns money-producing systems. 2. The tax code rewards ownership. Employees are taxed first. Business owners and investors earn first and pay tax on what remains. 3. The self-employed quadrant is a trap. It offers freedom from a boss, but creates a more demanding job that cannot scale. 4. A true business works without its owner. The goal is to build a system, not to do a job with a different title. 5. Financial independence lives in the I quadrant, where your assets produce more income than your expenses. A note at the end. This has been a WealthWorks summary of Cashflow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. If this changed how you see the structure of your financial life, subscribe to WealthWorks, a new book summary every week.